Hello YouTube and welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2. This is going to be the second game of New Zealand versus the Netherlands. Now if you haven't seen the previous one, please click the annotation in the description which will take you to game number 1, because spoilers will be coming very shortly. Now, we're going to be watching our blue Terran player here, uThermal, and he is going to be spawning on the bottom side of Dusk Towers. His opponent is going to be no other than Scarlett herself. She is spawning as the red Terran, or red Zerg at the top right hand side. Now just to mention, now that the time has passed, Scarlett was playing as Shura, which is her alternate account in the previous game, and she won. So just a note, this is the second game and Scarlett is currently bringing New Zealand to one win rather, and Netherlands is currently at 1 loss. So that's pretty cool so far. Scarlett, not quite sure why she's using both of her names, to be honest, because it is a little bit strange, but we'll see. Maybe it's to do with how she's gonna play. Maybe, I mean, that would kind of give things away, so probably not the best of ideas, but who knows, maybe just to throw off her opponent a little bit. So uThermal does appear to be starting off with a Reaper beginning. No expansion as of yet. Now he is building up those minerals though, so honestly I wouldn't be surprised to see the expansion coming out very shortly. So there you go, it does look like it is on the way now. And we do have, why does this not show what is being produced? Ah, it's because it's that makes sense. So basically when an add-on is being made or a building is being morphed, it doesn't actually show what the unit is. But when, as you can see on the larva here, when it's a unit being made, there is indeed a little icon showing what exactly is being made. So just to note, spawning pool is now coming up. It was actually put down after this hatchery, if you notice, because it is completing roughly about the same time. And looks like just a few Zerglings, just precautionary Zerglings being made. So these are not there to do any damage, they're just there to scout out and of course potentially scare off any Reapers that come around. You always see that with when a player is not expecting any early aggression. So 2 Zerglings is just for scouting and defending. And if you see 6 Zerglings, then you're very likely to expect the player to think that there was some sort of maybe early aggression, maybe a few Reapers, maybe continuous Reapers being produced. Now what's going to come out of this? Probably a factory straight after this. Is that it? Yes, it is indeed. Now funny enough, he's actually decided to double expand out of this. This is a little bit risky. But I suppose he's probably not seen any... Yeah, he hasn't seen anything into Scarlett's base. If Scarlett was building any sort of aggression right now, then this would have been a big backfire. I mean, all he would have in place is 2 Reapers and potentially 2 to 4 Marines to defend against it. And that, trust me, would not hold off a Roach timing push. Not at all. But if we notice the economy here, this is going to start really favoring the Terran player very quickly. As soon as this base gets saturated, there will be a few mules coming down. They're going to skyrocket the actual the expansion, and straight after that you're going to see the second command center also coming down, which is going to even further increase the economy. Now there we go. Scarlett now, after having defended against those Reapers, pretty confident that she's able to expand. So taking that 3rd hatchery right now. So all is well. Looks like there's a 1-1-1 Destiny Cloud Fist build being taken out here from uThermal. So that's all cool. Gonna potentially see some... Oh, here we go. Hellions being produced. So double Hellion in place right now. And the purpose of this is, of course, harassment. Making 2 more. So gonna potentially see some of those Hellion run-bys where just basically ignores all the units, runs straight into the mineral line and just goes roast. Of course, barbecued drones, a Terran favorite. Looks like this command center is now moving out. It will be prepared before this is complete, but on the other hand, of course, it's not going to be able to land because there's Zerglings in the way. Now where are those Hellions? They're still in place here, so they're going to be used for a little bit of defense right now. I wonder, has Scarlett actually seen them? I honestly don't know. But I will assume that she has some sort of suspicion that this could be either Liberators, which they are actually on the way, just a note, or it could be some sort of harassment play with drops and medevacs. Medevac drops, rather. So, 4 Hellions 2 Liberators. That could potentially play off very, very nicely for uThermal. If he goes off and starts harassing with pretty much everything that he's got very quickly, it will really, really pay off. Now, Zerglings do have speed, of course, at this point, but honestly, I'm not quite feeling what Shura has in, or Scarlett has in place. Just a few roaches. There we go, 1 Hellion. Oh, nice jukes there, managing to get around all the Zerglings. Now, just to note, Zerglings are faster than Hellions, but just barely. Now, that was a bit of a miss micro, actually. 1 Hellion could actually take out so many Zerglings. It's actually quite crazy. I mean, if you have like 15 Zerglings chasing after a Hellion, they could actually all die from that. Now, this is actually out of position just a little bit. Needs to pull it back. Is he going to manage to pull it back in time? Does look like he will. And the damage is starting to come off here now. Oh, funny enough, that is actually quite nice. That queen managing to survive the second hit. So there we go. Second Liberator actually gets taken out. And this is just denying a little bit of mining. There's an infestation pit on the way. So gonna potentially see a hive very soon. Now, managing to take out just 1 Ravager with that. Honestly, I'm kind of confused. He did sacrifice 2 of those Liberators for very, very little damage. And honestly, at the moment, I think that was absolutely not worth it. Looks like another Liberator on the field right now. Let's see what he manages to put off with this one. Honestly, he is going to see the expansion, so that's quite important. Expansion being spotted pretty much straight away, which is very, very good for him. Now, it looks like there's another factory being created here, which is quite interesting. That means that he's probably going to start pumping out a lot of tanks out of this. A quick look at the buildings tab. Looks like 1 factory, 5 barracks, and of course 1 starport. So actually, what am I missing? There is Hellions. Oh, it's not the Hellions. Actually, the Liberator did manage to come around here, catch a few probes, or a few drones, and now going to very quickly get cleaned up. If he's not paying attention to these Ravagers, they will kill him off in very, very few shots. It only takes 3 Ravages to finish off a Liberator. They do, I think, is it 65 damage in total? And there we go. Sacrificing 1 Roach, which I suppose is kind of worth it. There we go. A double drop here actually from uThermal. Let's see what he manages to pull off with this. Might actually go ahead and deny this base. He was aware of it last time when the Liberator was flying by. He managed to spot it. Now, these Hellions definitely don't want to get in the way of this. That'll be quite a disaster for him. There we go. Losing 1 already. Not really doing any significant damage. And there we go. Marines being loaded up here. Now, do they have stim completed? They do indeed. So they will be able to snipe this hatchery very, very quickly. There is a total of 12 Marines here. And there we go. Look at the amount of damage that stim Marines do. Absolutely insane. Getting them healed up very, very quickly. Stimming again. Gonna be able to snipe this hatchery. Get away from here as well. Running away from those corrosive vials. Well played here. Just managing to deny that quite handily. Now, he needs to continue to do this. If he can deny Zerg hatcheries, it severely impacts their production capabilities. Now, just to note, there's a hive on the way. So that is very, very cool. Gonna see some early tech. Question is going to be, is it going to be Ultralisks? Is it going to be Broodlords? Or does he just want to get 3-3? Now, because I'm seeing 3 armor, I'm highly suspecting that this is going to be Ultralisks. And there's a lot of Marines here. As you can see, this is the typical meta build currently for Marines. There is a lot of Marines, a few siege tanks, and that's pretty much it. Oh, here we go. We have fungal growths going down, and 1 corrosive bile manages to hit. Is he going to get more off? More and more fungal growths. He does manage to take this out. Very well played here from Shura. She manages to take it out. I have to commend her here, managing to take out both of those medevacs, preventing any further damage with them. Now, whether they've paid off for themselves, that was 12 Marines and 2 medevacs for a hatchery. Have they paid themselves off? Honestly, I'm not sure. You tell me about that. Let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that, or leaning towards the mineral consumption of it. So I'm going to say no. Another drop over here. Looks like another base going to be denied here. So again, very, very well played here by uThermal, managing to take out yet another hatchery. This one is not fully up yet. There is a few Marines here, but they're going to get spotted very quickly this time. lifting them off here and gonna... Oh, he does manage to actually fungal it, but he's not going to be able to hit those corrosive biles. So all of the Terran units now landing here. I'm not sure why he wants them here. He's already denied the hatchery. I would assume that he would want to move into the main base at this point. Now it looks like the drop has moved on over here, taking out a few drones. So currently 4 drones taken out, and again losing the medevac in this case. That's 3 medevacs full of marines he's lost at this point. The Spire is now on the way. And there we go. These marines are now back in here. This is actually a 4th drop rather. And a lot of drones, SCVs, probe drones. Honestly, I'm just going to say that right here, right now. When I call SCV or probe, try to understand what I mean. Because I always call them the wrong things. It seems to be like a signature move for me. And honestly, I'm thinking of getting myself a channel banner that will essentially dictate just that. And there we go. The probes or drones getting taken out. A lot of them here. Finally revealing that he does indeed have ultras. Let's quickly have a look at the upgrades. Chitinous plating in level 2 is complete. Level 3 is also on the way. Once that's up, the marines will be absolutely useless against ultras. They will do 1 hit, 1 damage per hit, and that is it. So as you can see here, there are ghosts on the way. What ghosts do against ultralisk, as you all pretty much know, is they snipe. So they have this snipe ability which does, I believe, 185 damage with each snipe. It's like a 1.4 second charge, and essentially 3 or actually I think it's 4 snipes manage to take out 1 ultralisk from full health. So very important to have those against Ultralisk army. Now just to note, there's only 2 Ultralisks here, but there is a few being made as well. So 4, going to be 6 in total once this engage goes off. There we go, a huge surround here, getting those units taken out for free. Not going to be able to do much about it. And this base is in position to be defended. And all these units, oh, this could be deadly if there's a few infestors here. They could potentially manage to land the fungals. And there's a lot of infestors here. Will they land this? Oh, deciding to back off here. uThermal, like last time, does not want to get caught like the previous time. That was very, very deadly. Lost 2 medevacs. In this case, there's actually 3 siege tanks involved as well. So losing this would be quite significant in terms of economy. Now it looks like there's an expansion on the way here, but of course being blocked by the Overlord. Very, very well played here by Scarlett, just to basically deny the ability to do that. Now these medevacs, I hope they've not been forgotten. Looks like the drop going down here. Gonna take out 1 or 2 of these roaches. Is he? No, he doesn't actually manage to take them out. So Scarlett probably just going to convert them into Ravagers. Now this drop is now coming down here into this base. Gonna take out a few drones at the same time, and looks like there is corruptors on the field taking out those medevacs, and this army is gonna get surrounded and very, very quickly taken out. Now uThermal has just seen all of these ultralisks. He's gonna see the fact that there is corruptors and ultralisks, which means to him that right now he's gonna be facing off against ultralisks, broodlords, and corruptors. It's an absolutely deadly combination from the Zerg, and it's very difficult to deal with from what I've seen. Every time I see it, the Terrans, even with ghosts, they still tend to struggle against it quite a lot, particularly if the Terran or Zerg manages to get enough units in time. So there you go, managing to do a bit more drone harassment here, but at the same time not a huge amount. So there we go, first broodlord is now on the way. How many is he making in total? Looks like 5 in total. Finally deciding to clean up these siege tanks up here. Gonna probably want to lift this off and bring them on away. It does look like actually there is corruptors here, so they will take care of that. There we go, siege tanks have been cleaned up. And there we go, looks like uThermal has taken his 5th base. Scarlett is already on her 6th base after this is up, so they're currently even. Although I have to say uThermal is probably doing better on economy. Yes, he is, quite a lot actually. Some mules, and the fact that his 5th base is already mining in full, bringing him up at quite a big advantage in terms of economy. Now army supplies slightly favoring Scarlett, so a little bit less workers. They are both maxed out at this point. Looks like level 3 attack is also on the way. Level 3 carapace has been completed. Level 2 attack is complete. So these ultras are going to be very, very deadly once they're completed. The only thing that I have to say is there is a few liberators on the field for uThermal. If that's going to stay the case, it's going to be very difficult to break a siege tank and liberator army. Reason for that is, of course, siege from the long distance and liberators from long distance as well. I wouldn't be surprised that if this pays off for him, that he decides to go ahead and basically upgrade the liberators as well, so their circles can be put down a little bit further. But that, of course, requires the ever-dancing fusion core to come up. And it looks like there's a drop actually in the main base here. A few drones taken out. Gonna let that go for now. There's a huge engage going off here. Ghost starting to snipe off units very, very quickly here. Big snipes going off, and as you can see here, the army supply very even for both, but uThermal starting to come out below. The Ultralisk and Broodlord army is just unstoppable. So difficult to deal with, and Liberators are now all that's remaining here for uThermal. Is he going to be able to defend off against these Ultralisk? Honestly, it's a question of whether the Ultralisk run into the circles. Obviously, being a pro, Scarlett is not going to let that happen. There is a planetary fortress here. They're going to start damaging the Ultralisk here, but at the same time, they are starting to burn it down very, very quickly. There's a few of these Ravagers in the back as well doing damage, and it looks like SCVs are not pulled off to repair. It is a little bit too late now, so there we go. Planetary has been taken out. I think that was a bit of a miss micro here, not using those SCVs to repair. And just to note, that Hive did actually get sniped off, so very, very important here for uThermal. He's not going to GG out here. He's at a big disadvantage right now. He's 50 supply down, but at the same time, he does have the Hive taken out. So very quickly here, gonna have to bring up a lair and straight into a Hive right after that. This is delaying his tech a little bit. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that unless you have a Hive, you're still able to produce units that have the tech research. So if you have an Ultralisk Cavern, I think you should still be able to make them, right? I'm not sure. Let me know below. I'm going to take that into consideration, of course, and we'll see what goes on here. The army supply still favoring Scarlett. This is a nasty situation, but there is enough defenses here to hold this off, I think. Siege tanks and Liberators very, very good against defending against ground units, and all you have here is Ultralisks and Infestors. The drop here getting warded off, not going to be able to take out the hatchery, so a good spot here by uThermal, but not unfortunately able to actually take it out. Now this medevac just going around, probably just going to do a bit of scouting. It has been spotted by this Overlord over here, so probably Scarlett's going to be bringing a few units back to defend against it. Doesn't need a whole lot, just a few Roaches and a few Zerglings. There you go, they are indeed ready for in position. Looks like the Corruptor is also being used, going to be used this to take out the actual medevac. The Hive is also on the way, so that is finally going to be brought up again. And there we go, uThermal actually GGing out. There wasn't anything happening there, but he does decide to call it. Okay, so I quickly went back to see exactly what happened there. There wasn't actually anything that I missed. It was just uThermal decided to GG out. He realized that there's not that much that he can do here. The way I see it right now, Zerg is one of the most difficult races to deal with in the very, very late game, because if you let them get the Broodlords and Ultralisks and fully upgraded as well, it's a nightmare. You need a ridiculous amount of ghosts to deal with it, and then of course you've got fungal growths and all this kind of crap going down, so it's just very difficult to deal with. So I hope you've enjoyed this game. We'll move on to game number 3.